Well, good afternoon to you. Good afternoon, and it's Wednesday. Wednesday, September the 23rd, and just a week to go before the end of the month. So just to repeat that, Wednesday the 23rd, and I hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. Yesterday we were all sort of excited about the fact that we'd seen a couple of drops of rain. We didn't get much rain, but I hear for some others that it rained in other parts of the valley here in Phoenix, and this is like the summer that will never end. I see that next week we're still predicted to have temperatures up into the 105, 106, 107, but I guess that's a lot better than being flooded and living with smoke and all the rest of it, so there's something to give God thanks for. I know for the first few days this week I've talked about heroes, and that I was led to think, well, my thought process was that Pastor Luke preached a great message on Sunday about heroes, and he mentioned his heroes, and I thought of my heroes, and I'm sure that you all have got some heroes. I don't know who they'd be, maybe your family, maybe some pastor from the past or whomever, but whenever you think about heroes, then you, at least for me, I think about Hebrews 11, because Hebrews 11 is the gallery of the faithful, those who are heroes because of the way that they exhibited faith. And it's an interesting list. Maybe sometime I'll just go through the whole chapter and teach about it, but I was just sort of reading through it today. And, the people that you expect to be there are there, but there are some in that list that you go, wow, and they're there. And there are some that you wonder why they're not there. But certainly in verse 31, there's a verse that I thought was worth commenting on. And that is, let me read it to you. It says, by faith the harlot Rahab perished not with them that believe not, when she had received the spies with peace. So here in the middle of this chapter of Bible heroes, alongside the like of Abraham and Isaac, Jacob and others, there's this lady called Rahab. And so let's just review the background a tiny bit. I'm not going to draw this out because I don't want to have a full-scale teaching on a weekday. But, when the children of Israel prepared to enter the Promised Land, they were faced by many different people, and they worshiped many different gods. But amongst that list was Baal. And the worship of Baal became a major issue for the Israelites. And even after the conquest of Canaan, Baal and his prophets and all of his, all of the complications of that, they continued to be an issue for God's people. And you remember it was the prophets of Baal that led to the showdown with the prophet Elijah. But you would think that Baal would have been vanquished, but he was still, Baal's worship and all the rest of it was still prevalent in the land. And one of the things that Baal worship was known for was a bunch of, I don't know, and I don't know that I want to know, I don't know all the details, but I know there was a lot of ritualized sex in there. And in all probability, Rahab, because she was a harlot, a prostitute, would have been involved in that in some way. So to read through the list of those who are counted to be heroes and faithful, to come across her name is surprising, because she would have been considered really contemptible by the Jewish folks. But you remember the story that when the two spies were sent out to the city of Jericho, they were welcomed into her house. And it's conjectured that they were welcomed because men were often there. And some scholars think that it's because of her interaction with all these different guys that she had heard about the power of the God of Israel. She knew about the crossing of the Red Sea, and she became convinced that Yahweh was the one and true God. And so when those two spies came to her and asked for protection, she provided it. She saw the writing on the wall and made a bargain with the spies to help protect her entire family, and the spies honored that. So if it was just left right there, you would say, well, this is the story of somebody who had a really sinful life, but she saw the writing on the wall and turned her life around. But the Bible story doesn't end with the story of Jericho. Rahab goes on to become the wife of a member of the tribe of Judah. And that would have only been possible if she had converted to become a Jew. And if you follow that line of her, what do you call them, her descendants, they included Boaz, who married Ruth, and after many generations, one of her ancestors was Joseph, who was actually, as far as the world was concerned, the father of Jesus. So why is her name listed in the list of heroes of the faith, if you like? I think that if you just looked at her life story and all of that, you would go, wow, she's got a really stained upbringing, really dubious life. But I guess that's the point. Again, I've just seemed to be in this groove of the last few days, that everywhere I look, I'm seeing that the people that God uses to accomplish anything for Him are often flawed people. I've just been talking about who did the Lord send to take the world over. It was His disciples. And who were His disciples? They were a bunch of unbelievers. They didn't believe that Jesus had risen from the dead. They were hiding in a room in Jerusalem. So I guess when I read all of that, I'm just encouraged to think, well, it's not because of who you are that God will use you. It's because of who He is. It's almost like, in some ways, it's like the person who says, well, I can't do anything for God because I have had this kind of a background. And you meet some people who just turn their life to the Lord and they're gung-ho for the Lord. And that's how I think we should all be. Don't go looking at yourself. Don't go looking at how you have got certain abilities or whatever. He can use whoever you are. He can use even me to reach somebody. He can use even you. So today, I'm just rejoicing that here's Rahab and all of her checkered past. But she is included in Hebrews along with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the heroes of the faith. She took the opportunity, she saw the future and took the opportunity to be used by God. And in turn, she was used by Him, because if you go back, she is in the lineage of his parents or of his father. So be encouraged. And today, I pray that you'll ask the Lord for a way that you can reach out. Sometimes we think that's reserved for, this weekend we're going to see this huge big event. Well, there's 2 events in Washington, D.C. And yeah, that's wonderful if the Lord can use you to speak to masses like that, and you can be influential in the lives of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. But most of us came to the Lord because of the testimony of one person, because of the influence of a parent, of a friend. So why not be a friend today to somebody, and God will use you. And maybe, I was going to say, maybe you'll be listed in with the heroes of the faith. I think that chapter's written, but the Lord will, I know, bless you, and you will feel his blessing and his faithfulness. So the Lord bless you. I'll be back tomorrow. I was going to think, am I going to be back tomorrow? Yes, well, tomorrow's Thursday. So we'll see you then. The Lord bless you, keep you, make his face to shine upon you, and what? Give you peace. Amen.